Hello everyone, this is Nishanth Sirikonda, Senior IEEE member and Cloud Architect. Today we're talking about the building unbreakable systems, the risk-driven DevSecOps and actions. So the practical, the best practices. Securing a distributed system is complex, but true resilience comes from robust practices, not just tools. All right. The evolving challenges of modern enterprise systems, the dynamic, interconnected, and rapidly evolving. Whereas coming to the complex systems, the modern enterprise systems are complex web of the cloud infrastructure like, SaaS, APIs, and third-party integrations, the forming the vast digital fabric. Hidden vulnerabilities, like, vulnerabilities lurk in subtle misconfigurations, identity sprawl, and supply chain weakness, often unseen by traditional security. The proactive resilience, the true resilience requires shifting from a reactive firefighting to proactive foresightful security assurance. Right? Why traditional DevSec apps is not enough, but limited scope. The pipeline-focused DevSecOps leaves the critical gaps, across SaaS platforms, identity and access management, and integration layer that exist outside traditional CI/CD workflows. Reactive posture. Security becomes a downstream checkpoint focused on scanning and gating releases rather than an upstream design principle that prevents issue before they manifest. Scattered risk view. Without a centralized risk visibility, organization struggles to prioritize remediation efforts or understand their true security posture across distributed systems. We must expand DevSec apps behind infrastructure and pipelines to encompass the full ecosystem. The shift to risk-driven DevSec apps. The first thing, identify critical assets, understand the key business value and the potential impact of the failure. The second, prioritize by impact, allocate security resources based on business impact. Anchor decision in risk. Use risk to guide engineering priorities, automation, and architecture. The risk-driven DevSec apps the build resilience by focusing efforts on protecting critical systems and data. Seeing the wild risk landscape. Map the ecosystem, not just the pipeline. Okay, the cloud misconfiguration, storage buckets, network rules, encryption settings, and resource permissions across multi-cloud environments. SaaS third-party risk, external integrations, API connections, the vendor access, and data sharing relationships. Identity surfaces, user permissions, service accounts, auth grants, and privilege escalation paths. The data flows, cross system dependencies, the data movement patterns, and integrations touchpoint. Comprehensive visibility across your entire technology ecosystem is the foundation of the resilience. You cannot protect what you cannot see. Continuous monitoring complaints as a practice. Detect issues before they become incidents. All right, rule number one, establish baselines. Define guardrails for common failure points across cloud, SaaS, identity, and API configurations. The next thing, continuity policy checks. All right, automated validation runs, constantly catching a drift and violations in real time rather than during periodic audits. Always on feedback. Treat complaints as continuous feedback mechanism that informs engineering decisions and improves system design. Okay, all right. What's the key insight? The monitoring is not about deploying more tools. It's about establishing disciplined, continuous validations as a core operational practice. Embedding resilience in CI/CD development. Okay, the build system that can bend without breaking. Automate early checks. Okay, integrate security validations directly into development workflows to proactively identify and fix issues. Dependency hygiene ensure supply chain integrity by consistently auditing and updating all third-party components. Strengthen extension. Fortify the custom scripts and integration points with strict security standards to eliminate common vulnerabilities. The pipelines became resilience engines when practices enforce consistency and predictability across every deployment. Access governance and audit as a risk controls. Reduce exposure through good operational hygiene. How? The role-based access control. Design RBAC roles that map to a real job responsibilities, not generic templates. Regular reviews ensure permissions remain aligned permissions with current duties and follow least privilege principles. Conditional access standards. Implement contextual access policies as a default, considering device health, location, risk signals, and user behavior, not as a special case exceptions. Reliable audit trails, yes, maintaining comprehensive tamper evidence logs that support both accountability, organizational learning. Audit data becomes a strategic asset for improving security posture. Governance and identity disciplines are quite superpowers and resilient systems. All right, but essential foundations for security as a scale. Connecting DevSec apps to your business risk. Speak the language of impact. All right, translate technical into business risk. Frame vulnerabilities and exposures into terms of potential business impact, revenue loss, complaints violations, reputation damage, not just the technical severity scores. Align with enterprise frameworks, right? Integrate DevSec apps with existing risk management frameworks, the board reporting, and strategic planning cycles. Show progress through risk metrics. Report using risk reduction metrics that resonate with executive leadership. Meantime, to remediate the critical exposures, attack surface reduction control effectiveness. Making system hard to break. Actionable resilience. Resilience is built through a practice, not tools. Look behind your code. Quarterly SaaS security reviews. FMA enforced actions. Annual API penetration test what new pattern within 2 weeks. And focus on business impact. Mark technical issues to business impact. Remediate critical risk within 7 days. Automate security steps. Integrate SCAT, SCA into CI/CD, halt critical flaws, policy as a code for 98% complaints, configuration as a code for auto fixes within 24 hours. Connect to company goals, monthly risky meetings with leadership, dashboards to show reduction, attack surface shrinkage. Automating, measuring, and collaborating build resilient systems aligning with business goals. Thank you. Thank you for engagement. We appreciate your time and attention. These presentation aim to provide a valuable insights into building resilient system through a risk-driven DevSec app approach and building resilient system by prioritizing business impact, automating security, and align efforts with the company goals before systems that are truly hard to break. This strategy drives continuous improvement and a proactive security posture. You're welcome to take any questions. We are now engaged to hear your thoughts and questions and look for simulation discussions and making system hard to break. Thank you.